Wait! One moment before we face the roar of the crowd.
Oh, sweetheart. Well, Dr. Chapin said the best thing in the world for me right now is to have a nice, peaceful evening at home with my family.
Obviously, Dr. Chapin doesn't know our family.
Well, the family commotion really kind of makes me feel peaceful. Wipes any problems out that I might have.
Speaking of problems, I'm glad to see that John had the decency to try to call you and apologize for what he said to you about Andy.
Well, I'm just so glad that he told you that he had called. I tell you, when I answered the phone at Doug's, and there was just silence, for a minute, I thought maybe that nightmare is going to start all over again.
Don't even allow yourself to think that. It is over. Finally over.
You got it.
Hi, Mom.
Hey. Hello, dear.
Hey, Mom, you'll never guess who called me today.
Who called?
Dad, and he invited me to dinner and a movie. Can I go?
Yeah, you can go.
Great.
You have to be back at 10, though.
All right, great. I'll call him right back.
All right. Hi, Doctor. Hello. Well, I'm going to go upstairs and change my clothes. I feel as if I've been in them for years. I'll be right back.
How did Kim's appointments at the hospital go today?
Well, her first session with Dr. Chapin went very well. As for the physical, she'll have the results tomorrow, but everything's fine, Mom. There's nothing to worry about.
Bob, I didn't want to say anything in front of either Kim or Andy, but there were 2 telephone calls today. Both were from a man who asked for Kim, and as soon as I said she wasn't here, he hung up.
My word, I won't tell Mrs. Walsh.
Okay, Mr. Montgomery.
Marie Kovac was here to see her, wasn't she?
Yeah.
You remember when?
Oh, around the beginning of October.
She have an appointment?
Well, no. I called upstairs, and Jane said she'd never heard of her. But Miss Kovac wouldn't take no for an answer. No, I'm sorry, but you can't see Mrs. Walsh without an appointment.
What'd you say your name was again?
Charlie.
Well, now, Charlie, if you could just turn that handsome head of yours that way for 1 second.
No, I can't do that, Miss. Mrs. Walsh would have my job and my head if I let anybody go upstairs who wasn't authorized.
Gee, that's a shame because I was really hoping I could thank you with a drink later at Caroline's. That's the restaurant I manage.
Oh, you must be as smart as you are pretty.
Yes, I am. Charlie, who's that's sneaking by over there?
What? Hey, Miss Kovac, wait! You can't do that! Would you believe I fell for that? Oldest trick in the book.
So she saw Mrs. Walsh?
Yeah. She said the craziest thing when she came back down.
What was that?
Franny, not so long ago you thought you were in love with Kevin. Now, do you think that maybe your falling in love with Doug has something to do with what's happening between you and Kevin? No. No, I really am in love with Doug.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I don't think I realized it myself until just this second. Franny, if my bringing you this message from Kevin has made you... No, don't you see? The only reason that Kevin's warning me about Marcia is to keep me away from Doug. Marcia is just an excuse.
Kevin is not the only one who noticed how jealous Marcia is. You told me about it yourself.
I know. But I'm not going to let Marcia's feelings for Doug keep me away from him. Now, you're a good friend. I appreciate your concern. But I don't want any more messages from Kevin. He told me to forget him and go on with my life, and that's exactly what I'm doing.
Okay.
I gotta get going, otherwise it's gonna be late when Doug comes to pick me up.
As the world turned.
Mom, I'd rather you didn't mention anything to Kim about those 2 phone calls. John Dixon was trying to reach her today at Caroline's. He may have tried here, too.
Well, I can imagine if John heard my voice on the phone, he might very well hang up. What is he trying to reach her for?
Well, it's a long story. Suffice to say, it's just John being John.
Well,
Okay, I feel much better now.
Excuse me, I want to make a phone call.
All right, sweetheart. And what about you? What kind of a day did you have?
A busy one. Chris and I have started moving into the garage.
Oh, Nancy, no, not already.
Well, there's a lot to be done to the kitchen yet, but the plumbing has been connected and the heating's been turned on, so we thought we'd get started. I'd forgotten how much stuff we brought up with us from Arizona.
Oh, honey, I know it's important for you and Chris to have your own place, but I just hope you'll still spend a lot of time here with us. You've got to promise me that.
Hello. Hi, back again. We are going to finish that kitchen tonight, or I'm not leaving.
Oh, Steve,
Done.
that'd be lovely, but are you sure with all your jobs I
Nancy, please don't give it a second thought. He loves to work. You just have to take advantage of it. Like,
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I have a really good idea. Since you're going to be here working, why don't you all just stay for dinner?
Oh, my. With all the commotion of moving, I forgot about dinner.
Don't worry about it. I feel like cooking up a storm.
Could you show me where you want the tiles to go?
That would be a help.
that'd be great. I'd love to help. Will Franny be here for dinner?
No, she's out with Doug somewhere. Again.
Sounds like it's getting pretty serious between those two.
I would say it's probably more serious than either one of them realizes.
Franny? Never mind. No, go on. What were you going to say? You don't want any more messages from Kevin? Right. Well, this one's from me. Stay away from Marcia Talbot. She is a very strange woman. Okay? I promise I'll be careful. Okay.
Now, we're going to Diana's for dinner. We may be back at Caroline's in time to catch your last set. All right? Bye.
Oh, my goodness, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to startle you.
You scared me half to death. What are you doing here?
Well, I finished up early at Caroline's. I thought I'd come give you a ride.
I have Kim's car.
So I will follow you.
I love being in your arms. I feel so safe.
I always want you to feel that way. Let's go.
Marie Kovac. What else did she say?
Well, that was about it, but she was real happy about something.
Why? You said that Mrs. Walsh threw her out of the office. She was going to call security. You sure that she actually saw Mrs. Walsh?
Oh, yeah. Do you know what you just did, young lady?
Yes, I do. I just did a guy I hate out of a job, and I had a ball doing it.
You barged in on the woman who owns this whole company.
I did, didn't I? Well, you know, Charlie, Lucinda Walsh was everything I expected and more. She sure has an ugly disposition, doesn't she? But, you know, it was worth it to have her throw me out. Charlie, you know, you deserve proper thanks. I'm going to remember you in my will.
And off she went. Happy as a clam.
Why would she say it was worth it?
I don't know, but I'm sure glad I didn't take that offer of a drink, or I'd be in big trouble now with my wife and the cops.
Charlie, did you ever talk to Jane about this?
Well, I tried apologizing to her that night, but she wouldn't even listen. Told me that to forget that Miss Kovac had ever been there, and not to mention it to Mrs. Walsh or anybody else.
But you say that you did write down the date and the time that she came in.
Well, sure, I keep track of everyone who enters or leaves this building. Miss Kovac is the only person who ever sneaked by, but I just wrote her in just the same.
Now you say the record book for October is missing?
Yeah, a couple of days ago.
It's curiouser and curiouser.
Ray? What are you doing in there?
Evening, Mrs. Walsh.
Evening, Charlie.
Can I buy you a drink?
What? Answer my question.
Why don't I give you a lift home? See, I got a few questions of my own. I figure you can answer.
Never knew anyone who was afraid of the wind.
I hate it.
Wasted time. Part of nature. My pa always taught us never to be afraid of things that are natural. Because you can't control them.
Maybe that's why I hate it. I mean, wind can turn into tornadoes or hurricanes.
I'm glad there are still some things out there people can't control. No matter how rich and powerful they are.
Is that some kind of put down, Holden?
Oh, ma'am. Just talking about nature. I love being outside, looking at storm clouds, watching the lightning crack the sky, listening to thunder and the wild wind. I know I can't control it, so I just relax and become a part of it.
Aren't you ever afraid?
Never.
But you could get struck by lightning.
So what? On really hot summer days, when the storm's blowing in, and I'm all hot and sweaty from working in the fields, I like to strip off my clothes and stand there. And I feel the rain all over my body, and I dare the lightning to strike me. Never has yet. One time my ma caught me in the middle of our hayfield, buck naked, standing in the rain. Boy, did she give me hell.
I'm glad someone in your family has some common sense.
One time next summer, when you're all hot, sweaty, and alone, and the storm's brewing, you ought to try it. Might cure you of that fear you have of things you can't control.
I have to go.
What are you really afraid of?
Oh, am I happy that you and your boss quit early tonight for a change.
Me too. It's nice to have dinner with you. Oh, they smell delicious.
Yeah, it's a buttermilk biscuits.
Oh.
Would eat them.
Oh, they taste wonderful too.
Wasn't that nice of him to drive you home like that?
Well, he's a very nice man.
Thinks the same of you. It's pretty obvious that he has a very high regard for your opinions on everything.
Oh, you think so?
I certainly do.
Well, I don't know. One thing, he is very easy to talk to. Tonight I found myself telling him that things I hadn't thought about in years.
Like what, Ivan?
Oh, things that happened after I ran away from Uncle Henry's farm.
Your papa and I couldn't sleep for days when you ran away.
I'm sorry, Mama.
Those first few weeks after you disappeared were the worst in my life.
You know, I think the worst for me were dark and stormy nights like this one. You know, I was always afraid of the dark.
Oh, yes, I remember that. When you were a little girl, you used to just love to climb into bed with your papa and me, nights like this.
I always felt so safe between the two of you with the comforters piled high. I finally got over my fear of the dark.
I'm sure you have.
Mama, I want to tell you something I've never told anybody. One night, very much like this one, after I ran away from Uncle Henry's farm, I stood right outside that window.
What?
Well, I looked in and I saw everybody sitting all around the table. Seth and Caleb and Ellie and Papa in his chair and you here and Holden was sitting right here.
Why on earth didn't you come inside?
Well, I wanted to, but...
What?
Well, I saw Papa jump up and he banged his fist on the table and he said to Caleb to never mention my name again, that I was dead to the family. So I went out to the barn and I waited till the worst of the storm was over and I went out to the highway and I got a ride. Of course, and sorry, the next time I saw everybody was at Papa's funeral. at the cemetery.
You gotta know that the only reason your papa ever said that was because he loved you so much. I mean, every time somebody mentioned your name, it just brought up all that hurt. He just couldn't take it.
But you see, I thought he meant it.
Oh, sweetheart, never, never.
I guess I was just too young to understand.
Yes. Oh. When I think of how our lives might have changed, it would come back to us that night.
Well, Mama, what's done is done, but I'm home now.
Yes, you are. And I'm so happy you are. Yes, I am. Speaking about being home, now where that brother of yours is.
Oh, well, he's probably, you know, gonna stay overnight at the stable.
He usually calls if he does that. I gotta get on out to that farm. Those animals are probably fussing in this storm.
Oh, no, Mama, let me do that.
No, I appreciate your offer. It's been a long time since you found your way around the barn, young lady.
You're right.
There's some more biscuits in that oven. You okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Just keep an eye on those biscuits for me, will you?
Okay, I will. Holden, is that you? Who are you?
Meg Snyder. Who are you?
I'm your sister, Iva. Oh, my goodness, it's so good to see you.
Yeah, I heard you were back home. Is Mama here?
Well, she's out in the barn. How did you get all the way here from Kansas?
Oh, well, not easy. I know Mama's gonna kill me, but I couldn't stay in that awful place 1 second longer.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I know how you feel. Well, I'm just really glad that you had the good sense to come home instead of running away like I did.
Well, I had nowhere else to go. Or else I certainly wouldn't be here facing Mama's anger. Oh, I'm starved. Those buttermilk biscuits?
Yeah, they're fresh from the oven.
Nobody makes them like Mama.
Well, turn around. I want to see what my baby sister looks like.
I'm not a baby.
Oh. Yeah, you're right. You're a very pretty young woman. In fact, you remind me a lot of Grandma Lou. Mama ever show you any pictures of her?
I guess.
She was very fair, very pretty like you are.
Thanks.
I'm hoping maybe we can be good friends.
Is Holden back yet?
Hi, Mama.
Meg Snyder. What on earth are you doing here?
If you're so scared of the wind, just wait till it dies down.
Maybe I will.
When your friend Dusty was here, he said something to me I didn't understand.
What?
Something about you and me. About us being uncomfortable around each other.
That's true.
Not for me. That make you feel uncomfortable, ma'am?
Sometimes.
Why's that?
I don't know, Holden. I never really analyzed it.
Well, maybe we should analyze it right now. Maybe it's because you're scared of things and I'm not.
Maybe.
Best way to get over things that scare you is to meet them head on. Just like I did that day in the middle of the field. Buck naked with the lightning all around me.
It's not always that easy, Holden.
Can be. The wind did this to you, didn't it? But it didn't hurt you now. Go out there and face up to it. Come on. Come on.
Let's go.
Now, you sure you don't want anything to drink?
No.
Huh?
Yes, I do. I want some, yeah. In a tall glass.
Fine. Okay.
You?
So, now, are you ready to start answering my questions?
I don't know whether I like this new you, this
What?
change in you. I want all the facts, ma'am, all the facts. What are you doing? You taking lessons from your sister in detective or something?
No, come on now. We're not here to talk about me.
Ask me your question.
Good. See, I happen to know that you know Marie Kovac. I know that you met with her a couple weeks before she died, and I want to know why she was in your office and why she was so excited when she left.
Charlie said she was excited?
Mm-hmm. The guard on duty at the time said that Marie was very excited when you threw her out, said that being thrown out by you was very worth it. She told him that she'd remember him in her will.
Then it is true.
What? Lucinda, why did you throw her out?
None of your business.
Wrong. I'm a stockholder in Walsh Enterprises now, you remember? Now, is this why you've been acting so weird, why you're on the verge of a nervous breakdown here? Huh? I mean, do you know what happened to Marie? Do you know why she was murdered? Do you know something about her death? Lucinda, I can't help you unless you tell me what you know.
Help?
Come on, lady, we know about everything there is to know about each other, so why don't you just, tell me what's going on?
Hey, here's some food to nibble on till dinner if you want.
Oh, I think I'll just nibble on this.
What? Oh, my. What put you in such a romantic mood all of a
I'm
sudden?
just out there working. I thought of you, what we were talking about today, about us always, well, having the best and still wanting more.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, well, so you were right. All I really want is you. So I wanted to find you and just tell you.
Oh,
That's all.
Thank you. Feelings are mutual, you know?
Yeah, well, we already have the best. You're right.
Okay, well, then I guess we can move into that mansion that you're planning to build. But it's not going to be any nicer than our own little cabin, you know. But please remember that even a mansion can be a pretty cold and lonely place without love in it.
I can think of something that's going to make it a little less lonely.
Oh, yeah, what?
Well, I think that we should, come on, what do you say? Get to work on making that little brother or sister for Danny we were wanting.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh, that's the best idea you've had in months.
Okay, you're no longer alone. Makes any difference.
Oh, should we tell her? Do you think?
Yes.
Tell me what?
Well, we are having a brand new addition to the Andropoulos family.
You're going to have a baby? No, not yet. He's just getting way ahead of himself.
Well.
Hey, everybody. What's all the excitement about?
Oh, nothing. It's just Steve's getting a little ahead of himself.
Well,
Nothing
you
to
ask
worry
me in
about.
about 2 months, and I'll tell you.
It's all too deep for me. Where's Andy?
John picked him up. He's taking him to dinner and a movie.
Oh, how's John?
Oh, he apologized for what he said at the hospital.
He apologized? That doesn't sound like the John Dixon I know.
No, this is the new John Dixon, the 86 model.
Oh, Steve, I was going to come over to the garage to get you.
Oh, I just took a quick break.
Well, dinner is almost ready, so why don't you go and get washed up now?
Terrific, okay. All right.
Kim, I made some dumplings to go along with your stew.
Oh, Nancy.
And some gingerbread, which will come out in about 15 minutes, all right?
Oh, smells so delicious.
But I have been looking for that long-handled serving spoon, and I cannot find it.
It's in the dishwasher.
Ah, the one place I forgot.
I'll help you. Yes, please do. I need that kind of help. Forget dinner.
What are you thinking about?
Oh, just something that Lila said today.
What?
Oh, she implied that John's interest in Sierra was not entirely professional.
That doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, but she's engaged to marry Craig.
Well, I wouldn't worry about that. Craig and Sierra seem to be very much in love. Listen, if they survived a revolution in Montega, they can certainly survive John Dixon.
Just hope he gives up easily.
Well, if he does, it'll be a first. I'll get it. Hey,
Dr.
Douglas,
Hughes.
come on in.
Thank you.
Let me take your coat. I don't know how long Franny's going to.
Okay, fine. Here.
Well, how's the restaurant business?
Well, I'm happy to report that we're sold out practically every night.
Wow, you must be doing something right, huh?
You know, Heather Dalton's a big draw for us, too.
Hello.
Mrs. Hughes,
Hi, dear.
how are you?
Just fine, thank you. Franny should be down in a minute. She said that 15 minutes ago, so it shouldn't be too long.
Andy tells me that you have your own jet plane.
That's true.
Listen, has he been hounding you for a
Oh,
ride?
no, not at all. Well, hinting around a little, maybe. But unfortunately, my jet's in Texas right now, so he's going to have to wait till the end of the month when I'll have it flown back up here to take Marcia home.
I see. Well, how did you happen to get into flying?
Well, I've always loved the idea of flying ever since my first model airplane, so it was a pleasure, really, to take the courses to get a license.
Well, I'm very impressed.
Well, I'll have to take both of you up sometime.
I would love it.
Would you?
How about you, honey?
I think I'll be impressed from the ground.
Oh, no, I hope Franny doesn't feel that way.
No. She loves to fly as much as her daddy.
Great. Because, you know, statistically speaking, flying is much safer than driving or, I don't know, probably walking. But, you know, I was wondering if it's all right with you, I'd like to convince her to come away with me somewhere during her spring break.
You know, I think a little vacation would be the best thing in the world for my daughter.
Yes?
Oh, where did you intend to take her? Do you have any idea?
Yes, I do, if it all works out. But please, don't say anything. I want it to be a surprise.
My lips are sealed.
Thank you.
Oh, you know Steve.
Yes, I do.
Oh,
Steve,
Doug,
how are you?
right?
Doug Cummings.
It's good to see you again. What, are you here for dinner, too?
No, not tonight. I'm taking Franny over to Diana's.
Oh, great. Could you do me a favor? I could really use a table for two the night after tomorrow.
A special occasion?
Yeah. Well, as a matter of fact, Betsy doesn't know this yet, but I'm going to be breaking ground on our new house that day, and I want to take her out to the property and then take her over to Caroline's as a surprise.
Well, that's great. I'll see you get a great table.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Hey, Doug, you ready?
Oh, my. Brava! Look at this model. Let's see a little stuff here.
Practicing for my first fashion show.
Oh, people who are perfect do not need to practice.
Oh, boy, do you know the right things to say. What time are reservations?
8 o'clock. We better get a move on.
Oh, yeah. Bye, everybody.
Goodbye.
Hello. And
Oh, they make a nice-looking couple.
They certainly do. You should be very proud. Your daughter's going into a beautiful, poised young lady.
Well, thank you, Ellen. I noticed that.
Did you also notice that the foyer we had to the front of the house for privacy's sake is now being used?
Yeah, I noticed, but I don't understand.
Why?
Why do they need privacy? They're going to be alone all evening.
So, what? Well, I thought we were leaving.
Yeah,
What
we are. I just wanted to say something first.
Sounds serious.
Yeah, it is. I don't think I even realized it until I was talking to Heather today.
What?
I'm falling in love with you. I thought you ought to know. Oh, what's wrong?
Oh, nothing. Everything is very right. You don't know how much I've wanted to hear you say that.
All right. I met her. I knew her. I mean, I know her. She came to my office
Why?
one day. I believe she came to destroy Kevin Gibson's reputation in my eye. I mean, I did not know her, and I had her thrown out.
And that's it? You never saw her again?
I never saw her again.
I don't believe you.
Hi, dear. Hi, Mom. Craig. I'm not feeling very well. I'll go upstairs and lie down.
I don't know what is the matter with that child all day long. I've got to go find her.
Oh, no, you don't. No, you don't. No, no, no. No, you listen to me. Now, whatever it is you know, and for whatever reasons you got keeping the information back, you listen to me. The cops are not going to close this investigation. And they're going to keep after it until they find out everything that you know anyway. It'd be a lot easier on you if you just went to the cops, told them everything now. I gotta go, kid.
Where?
I'm off to my mom's. Sierra and I are having dinner there.
Why? Craig?
Yes.
Come here. Come here.
What?
Why?
What?
Why? Why are you bothering to pretend that you care? What happens to me?
I do care. God knows why after all the hell you put me through, but I do care.
That's a very nice. You don't know what it means to me to hear. That's very nice. Thank you. That's nice. That's very nice. I'm very fond of you. You know that. I love you. Okay? Told you I love you. Now get out.
Mama, are you still angry at Meg for coming home?
Yes, I am. I'm worried sick about your brother not being home all night, not calling. I love Meg. Lord knows, I've missed her.
Well, then what is it?
Well, I just don't like the way she did it, that's all. Running off in the dead of night from her uncle's farm and hitchhiking rides with perfect strangers.
Well, I just don't think that you should be that hard on her. I know what it's like on that farm, Mama. In fact, I even admire her spunk for coming all the way home with less than 50 cents in her pocket.
That girl's got plenty of spunk, all right. What she needs is a little bit of common sense to back it up with. She's not afraid of anything. That's what worries me about her.
Was she always like that?
Always. It's partly my fault. She was my baby, and I spoiled her rotten. Especially after your father died, I tried to be both mother and father to her.
You know, that's only normal.
Oh, maybe. But she's so headstrong, so vain.
Well, I don't know any teenager who isn't. I mean, she's also very pretty.
And boy crazy, too. Like you. Oh, what? Where in the world were you? You had me worried to death. Why didn't you call me?
I'm sorry, Mama.
I'll get you something to eat.
I was waiting for somebody to come by the stables, and I must have fallen asleep. I don't know. Anyway, I just came by to change, and I got to get back to work.
Well, just hang on a minute. I have a little surprise for you.
Holden?
Meg! Oh, my God! It's so good to see you!
Oh, it's good to see you! I've missed you so much. Looks like these two get along real well.
Yes, they always have.
First, you got to tell me that you're here to stay.
Oh, my, you're up early.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to run over to the hospital and get the results of those tests that I took yesterday.
All right, let's get this show on the road.
Oh, Daddy, you look very handsome.
Thank you. Am I being buttered up for the kill?
No, don't you think he looks handsome? Of course I do.
Well, thank you. I'd say by your mood that you had a very nice time with Douglas last night at Diana's.
Not nice. It was great, and not just Diana's.
Oh?
We went dancing after we closed the restaurant, and then we came back here.
I didn't even hear you come in.
Well, I don't know what time it was, but Doug started the fire and we started talking, and the next thing I knew, the sun was up.
I'm surprised to see you up this morning this early with a night like that.
I couldn't sleep. I don't know why, but I'm just not tired.
Good morning, everybody. And before
Well,
any of you
hi,
say
son.
anything, I'm going to catch my bus right now.
Hey, your haircut looks nice.
My haircut? Well, I haven't gotten a haircut in weeks.
Well, I like it long.
You like it long?
What's that smell?
Oh, that's Grandma's pancakes. You better go get some.
Oh, I'm starving.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, sweetheart. Have a good day.
Something very strange is going on around this place.
Oh, I don't think I'd worry about it, my darling.
Wouldn't you say that my daughter is acting a little peculiar?
Well, I think it's just a case of she's finally finding out what it's like to be in love and happy all at the same time.
Well, I'm happy, and I'm in love, and I don't act like that. Do I?
You're not 20 either.
But I feel like 20 when I'm near you, my darling. But enough of this passion. I'm expected at a staff meeting at the hospital in 30 minutes.
Come on, let's go.
Let's
Goodbye,
go.
everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Have a good day.
Oh, Franny, that griddle is very hot. Be sure not to burn yourself now, dear.
Hello? No, I'm sorry, Kim isn't home. May I take a message? Hello? Hello?
I wish you would tell me what had you so upset yesterday.
I wish you would tell me what had you so upset yesterday. And don't you worry about me, darling. It was a horrible day. Just too much business.
I've never seen business get you that upset before.
Well, I'll tell you what I'll do. I promise you that I will pack up all my troubles in my old kit bag and leave them at the office because I don't want you upset. Because I love you. And no matter what happens or what I've done...
You know, when you start talking like that, it really scares me, Mom.
Why? You mustn't be scared. There isn't anything to be scared of.
Why do I feel scared?
I don't know, darling. But you fight it. I mean, be like your mother. You got to be strong and
Strong?
fight. I'm counting
Fight
on
what?
that.
Would you please tell me what you're talking about? I don't understand anything you're talking about.
All right, have a good day at
Oh,
school.
come
I love you. I love you. Mwah. I love you. I got to rush now. Fenwick's waiting. Bye, dear.
Hey, kid. Look at Big Mom.
No, she left already.
Oh. What's wrong with you?
Something's wrong, Craig. I don't know what it is.
Lily, I want you to wait right here for me till I get back. Do you understand?
But,
Just
Mama,
do it.
Mama-
And the same thing goes for Sierra. Do you understand me? Do it.
But Craig, wait, please! Craig! Why won't anyone tell me what's going on?
Well, I want you to meet my baby. I'm sorry.
What?
I'm sorry, my youngest sister, Meg. This is my boss,
Oh.
Steve Andropoulos.
Oh, well, it's very nice to meet you. Meg, right?
Yeah, nice to meet you, too.
Well, thank you.
Would you like a nice cup of hot coffee?
No, thank you. I'm all set.
Well, how about a piece of cinnamon cake? It's all warm from the oven.
Oh, I think you should, because Mom's recipe has won first prize every year in the county fair.
First prize?
Yes,
Well,
yes.
look, to tell you the truth, I'm very eager to get out to the site.
Oh, okay.
No, tell you what, I'll wrap you up a little piece, take with you.
Okay, great. That would be
Bundle up now. It's very cold out there.
All right, I will. Now, Meg, you know, when I get home tonight, we have a lot of catching up to do.
Yeah, wait till I tell you the stories Aunt Elizabeth and Uncle Henry told me about you.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Are we ready?
Yeah, all right.
Don't forget this.
Okay, good night.
Bye-bye.
I mean, good morning.
Thanks again.
See you later.
Meg, what do you say? You want to go out to the wash tables with me?
Oh, great!
Hold it. Just hold it.
Wash isn't gonna
Aren't you
mind.
forgetting a little something?
What?
What?
Well, today's a school day, and I think now that you're home, maybe we should start thinking about...
Oh, Mama, please, just let me skip one day, huh?
One day's not gonna matter, Ma. I'll help her with her homework if she needs it.
Pretty please? Pretty please, a cherry on top?
I never could say no to you, could I? Well, just this one day, you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You behave yourself out there, too.
I will, I will.
Make sure you do.
I was real lucky working for a guy like that. What a hunk. They don't make them like that in Kansas, that's for sure.
Ready? Let's go.
Oh, John, we do with you.
Margot, you've been driving me crazy for weeks trying to find out more about this promotion. Well, Do you want to find out more about it or not? Well, then I suggest you go see to the commissioner, because he's ready to give you all the details. What? Hughes, I'm well aware you're in the middle of 2 unsolved murder cases, but I wouldn't remind the commissioner if I were you. Now, Roy's going to be heading up the Kovac-Randolph investigation from now on, and I'm assigning Hal Munson to the case. Right. If it turns out that the murderer is your favorite suspect, Marcia Talbot, you'll be the third to know. Bye. Yeah, this is McCluskey. Yeah, I want to see Roy Franklin in my office right away. Thank you. Oh, good morning, Mrs. Walsh. Come in, please.
Good morning, Lieutenant. I'd like to speak with Detective Hughes, and I was told that I could find her in here.
Oh, I'm sorry, she's not here. Does this have anything to do with the Kovac-Randolph investigation? Because if it does, she's no longer assigned to that case.
Well, I want to talk to someone.
What about?
I have a confession to make.
Please, sit down. Thank you. Well, Dr. Samuels, did you get the results of my test back?
Yes, I got them this morning.
And?
Can I ask you a question?
Of course, what?
Didn't you have any idea that you're pregnant?
Menswear by Barney's New York. Furs by Christie Brothers. This is Dan Regent, inviting you to join us again Monday for As the World Turns.